Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapbrain Chronicles. Today we're back at you with a bit of a small tool haul. This is stuff I picked up today on, my journey through different places that sometimes have tools, sometimes don't. But I guess today they did have something. So just wanted to show you guys what I got. And I think we're going to go through this real quick, and then we're going to concentrate on the knife a little bit longer. So I picked up, I think in 3 different places I picked up the knife. One place, these wrenches and that wrench set at one place, and I picked up these 3 pieces at another place. And the first thing is a pretty interesting. You don't see these too often. It's a Toyota motor, 17 millimeter and a 14 millimeter wrench, and this is made in Japan. As you can see, it's pretty well rusted. Not sure what coating this is. It might be cadmium, so I'm not gonna mess with it too much. And I'm going to put it away. And what else did I find at that place? I found a small 9 millimeter Craftsman, forged in USA. Double end wrench. This one's 42866. And I like small wrenches, so I was kind of happy to see this. And at that one place I did find this. This is nothing special. This is a Cobalt 1/2 inch drive extension. I think this is like 3 inches. The model number is 337340. Probably, I'm pretty sure this is made in USA, but it looked, like I said, it's pretty new. Well, it looks brand new. And for $1, I said, oh, why not? And then there's this set here. And these came in a bag, and the speeder handle came separate in the same store. And these, just a set of small combination wrenches. These are SAE, they're not metric, but and you find these are also made in USA. You find sets of these made in USA. This one is made in Taiwan. And I guess these were more popular some years ago because I heard a lot of people use these to kind of fine-tune these small size wrenches to fine-tune their cars, their carburetors on the cars. You car guys out there probably know more than me and can probably talk more about that if you want to leave a comment in the comment section. Yeah, but I heard that these were pretty popular back in the day with guys who like to fine-tune their cars because carburetors, I guess, had these tiny nuts and bolts, and a set of tiny wrenches like this came in pretty handy for doing stuff like that. And this looks kind of old. It's plastic, has no name on it. The wrenches just say quality steel on them and the sizes, and on the back they have Taiwan. And as always, when I find a bag of tools hanging on the wall, they'll always have a bunch of what you can call junk tools in the bag, and there'll be like 1 or 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky, good tools in the bag. And that's what happened here. All these little wrenches were in the bag with that set of wrenches just loose, and these are just kind of junky wrenches which with no markings on them. Pretty much just I don't know what they came for. This one has a 14 on it. That's about it. The rest, no markings. Just whatever. Little I guess throwaway wrenches. And then in the bag was this. I didn't know what it was at first, but I did see it was USA. And I said, USA seems pretty sensible. I was trying to figure out what B stood for. I was thinking maybe Bonnie or Billings or something like that. And what broke the case was the number here, ZE1416. I looked that up and it shot out Bonnie. So this is a Bonnie wrench. This is a 1/2 inch and 7/16 on this side. When I just looked for vintage B marked tools, not much came up. Billings, like I said, I think came up, and another company that I didn't recognize came up. But surprisingly, Bonnie didn't come up, even though they did mark their tools with just a B, as you can see here. And then there's this spark plug wrench. It's a 3/16 Craftsman, made in USA. This was in the bag also, VV marked 43321, and seems okay. Doesn't seem in that bad a shape. The only bad thing is that somebody put this styrofoam, I guess, insulation in there to I guess catch the spark plug better. But the only bad thing with styrofoam, as you know, it wears down and it gets old and it starts crumbling and you see pieces in there. So I wouldn't want to stick this in a spark plug well with that styrofoam in there, because it might just rain down styrofoam pieces into that spark plug well, and I'm not sure that your engine would like that very much, especially if you get like a decent chunk of styrofoam going in that hole. Could possibly do some damage to your engine. So I'll probably take that out if I plan on using that. And for $2 I found this speeder handle. It's a Craftsman. Has the letter E, USA, 4427 3/8 drive. And as we know, Craftsman doesn't make any tools. And I was trying to figure out who made this. I settled on Eastco, even though I could find no other company that used this handle. And you know, usually when you're looking at companies that made tools for other companies, usually they'll make tools for themselves under their own name that look exactly like the tools that they make for other people, like handles and shapes, etc. But this, I couldn't find any other picture of a company that had this particular handle with this cone here and this handle, this rounded piece like this, exactly like this, except for Craftsman. So I'm gonna say Eastco as a guess, because Eastco was making, as we know, Eastco made ratchets and wrenches and stuff for Craftsman at this time. So, and they did make speeder handles also, but I didn't see any with this particular handle. Could just be a Craftsman handle that they made for Craftsman. And we have this knife, and this is, it says electric mate knife. And zoom in a little bit. And it's made by Prov Cutco, Prov, Rhode Island, USA. So Providence Cutco, Providence, Rhode Island, USA. I'm gonna guess that this is Colonial, because Colonial was also in Providence, USA. And these knives have an interesting history. I also collect small pocket knives, vintage USA pocket knives. So here's a variety of similar knives that have a similar pedigree to this knife. They're called electrical knives, and they were made by a good number of different makers, and I guess they got popular during World War II with this one here. This is like a World War II vintage. They were marked on the handle TL-29 knives. This one's missing the loop. They were made with wood handles, but also plastic handles. And that one's plastic. I think this one's wood. Made by, I think this one's World War II. It's, I don't know if you can see it there. Camillus Cutlery Co. Camillus New York, USA. So the font of the stamping, this is from the 30s to the mid 40s, and because of the letters stamped on the wood and not having brass bolsters, this is probably a World War II production. TL-29, because brass in World War II was at a premium, so they made steel bolsters. But I guess later on, after the war, brass wasn't that much at a premium anymore, and they started making them with brass bolsters again. You find these. Here's one that says Cutmaster, Utica, New York, USA, S-2. Cutmaster, I think, is also a Camillus brand. And there was another one. I don't know if I have it here. And if you look at the blades, you can tell I'm a patina guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm a patina guy. So here's another Cutmaster with a little bit different stamping here. Looks a little bit different. This one has wood handles, has the brass frame. You can tell there it's brass. And these had, this one's hard to get out. These had a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver blade also, and the screwdriver side would lock. It had this press lock, this liner lock here that you would just press out of the way, and it would unlock. But the knife did not have a lock, so the lock here is only for the screwdriver side. And these are also popular in Klein Tools, Chicago. I think Cutmaster or Camillus would make them for Klein also. So you would find these a lot in Klein. And the quality on the Klein, Cutmaster, Camillus's is pretty good. You see here the blade thickness. It's pretty thick. The blades on these are pretty heavy duty. Little pocket knives. They're not that little, they're kind of medium size, but these are pretty well made knives. And there's even this one, which is a Craftsman, is 9560, probably made by Camillus also from the looks of it. Yeah, and it has the screwdriver side over here. There's this little cutout here that people wonder about. What's that about? But I just think that that cutout is there just so you can get your finger into this little cutout here to pull the blade out for the knife. So I guess that's the mystery of that. And here's another Colonial, and you can see this one's not quite as nice as you say the other ones, the Camilla's Cutmaster ones. You see the blades are a bit thinner on this one, on the Colonial. See, it says Colonial, Providence, USA. You can see here that the blades are a bit thinner on the Colonial, and the bolsters don't look like they're solid. They look like those Colonial bolsters that are kind of hollow, and kind of sometimes they have like a little protrusion there that folds over on some of their knives and holds the bolster in place. And it has kind of like this kind of cheaper plastic handle. Still usable, still, you know, not too bad, but not as the patent, not the quality of the Camillus style ones from Utica. And unfortunately, this one that I picked up today, it's even worse quality than this Colonial. As you can see here, the blade, the bolsters, the frame is super thin. I would say probably, yeah, that is brass, but you can see how thin they are. And compared to like a good quality one, you can see how thin that frame is. Super thin handles, plastic, looks hollow. And this one has that fold over protrusion that I was talking about that you see on a lot of cheap camping knives, holding the bolster there. And it says electric mate. And you see how thin the blade is on this. And the screwdriver, it locks in place, but that also is not the greatest quality. So yeah, that's just a run down memory lane for these knives. These knives, I think they still make these knives. They're not made in USA no more, I think. I think they're made in China now. I don't have a example of those knives, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be this quality of these old Camillus Cutmaster, even Klein tools, TL-29s. So yeah, I picked this up for like $5, and maybe I paid too much for it, but I thought it was kind of neat since I do collect these, and I didn't have this one, and this one says electric mate, and I don't really see anything on this one. So maybe it's rare or something, I don't know. Well, that's all I got. Alright guys, until next time.